Why is Jin BTS still silent about his solo album that has been completed but never released? Is HYB hiding something from the army? Fans are now urging the worldwide handsome to speak up. Shocking allegations have sprung up. Was the Echo album deliberately withheld for reasons darker than just a promotional strategy? Or is there a hidden conflict behind Jin's calm smile? Do you also feel that there is something strange? Are you also starting to question why Jin's solo album, which he says has been completed since the beginning of this year, has not yet seen the light of release? If you are one of those who feel anxious, you are not alone. ARMY around the world is now increasingly vocal, voicing a question that has only swirled in a low whisper. What really happened to Jin's Echo album? All this started from a signal that felt small but triggered a huge wave of speculation. A moment of silence in one of BTS's latest content. The genie appeared, remained with his charisma and composure, but something was different. His gaze was blank. Her smile didn't seem to reach her eyes. And when one of the members mentioned solo projects, the camera only caught a silent genie. Silence that is too conspicuous to pass up. This is where the anxiety begins. Question after question began to flood fanbase forums. Comments on social media, even special hashtags began to buzz. Hashtag release Echo, hashtag let Jin speak, and the most shaking, hashtag what is Eva hiding. Fans could no longer restrain themselves. They urged, not just to the agency but to Jin himself, to dare to say something. Something he might have endured. But why? Why does a genie who is known to be straightforward, honest, and often does not hesitate to cut management statements with his jokes, now look so silent? Is this a form of surrender? Or too much pressure to bear alone? A longtime staffer who once worked behind the scenes in BTS's projects, who declined to be named, leaked something surprising. Jin's album, tentatively titled Echo, has actually been ready since March. Song material, mixing, even music videos have been completed. But then the project was like frozen. For no apparent reason. No news. Without a release date. More surprisingly, the source said that the decision to withhold the album did not come from Jin. In fact, it was mentioned that Jin had asked, will it be released before the end of the year? And the answer from management was, not necessarily. We need to align HYB's priorities first. What does aligning priorities mean? Isn't BTS's solo project one of the company's main agendas after their military service? Why, when the genie was ready, was the project put on hold? Some theories began to emerge. One of them mentioned that HYB is more focused on launching other projects that are considered more marketable for this year. There are also those who suspect, with the cooperation of Jin in the program with the Kian team and variety show, HYB deliberately wants to create a delay so that the public is not saturated with Jin's presence. But the question is, did Jin know of this plan in the first place? Or is he simply a victim in a strategy with which he does not agree? The most electrifying moment came when Jin was asked directly in a short interview, do you have any plans to release anything this year? He just laughed a little, then said, we'll see. Sometimes it's not in our hands. That answer should make us all pause. Is that a form of surrender? Is he holding back emotions so as not to leak something bigger? In the behind-the-scenes video for the new product promotion released by HYB, Jin appears to be undergoing a photo shoot. But there is an unusual expression. A photographer is heard saying, try to be more expressive, Jin Hyung. But he just nodded and smiled lightly. Fans who watched the video reacted immediately. His gaze empty, commented one soldier. He looked like he was thinking about something big. And perhaps they are not mistaken. Is it all about fatigue? Or more than that, a betrayal of the hard work of an artist? Fans began to equate this situation with dark times when other idols were forced to follow the agency's decisions without being able to resist. Is Jin in that condition now? Is HYB playing too much strategy, forgetting that behind the strategy there is someone who wants to talk, wants to be heard, wants to be appreciated? A photo of Jin in the training room also went viral. There, it appeared he was sitting alone, holding a sheet of lyric paper.
No smiles. No camera.
Only he, and who knows how many thoughts suffocate his chest. Is that part of the song Echo? Was it a song he couldn't sing to the world yet because someone kept the door shut? A composer who had worked with Jin gave a shocking leak. The song in the album, Echo, contains many personal messages. One of them is about an inaudible voice, he said. The title, Echo, is not just aesthetic. It was the voice of the genie himself, the one that had only been echoing in the empty space all this time. Now, the army began to put together scattered puzzle pieces. Some say that HYBE may be afraid that the Echo album is too emotional, too honest, too personal, so that it can interfere with the positive image they are building after the internal controversy that had shaken the agency. Does Echo store permissions? Or is it actually a threat to the official narrative that the company wants to build? To be sure, public pressure can no longer be contained. More and more fans are voicing, if Jin does not speak, then we will speak for him. Some even plan to send protest trucks to HYB's office, repeating actions other fandoms have taken against their agencies. However, there is one greater fear behind all this. What if the genie is really not allowed to speak? What if what we think of as freedom of work is just an illusion? And if this is so, how many more works are stuck in silence? How many sounds never reach us because someone presses the pause button where it should give play? While the world waits, time goes on. Jin, the owner of the voice, was still silent. But the echo of the question continues to beat. When will the echo be heard? And if that moment comes, is it too late? There is a phrase that continues to resonate among the army. We love him not only for his voice, but for his honesty. The sentence has now turned into a sharp spotlight. How can someone who has been known to be honest, warm, and full of initiative like Jin suddenly look passive in preaching something so important like a solo album? The question is at the center of a massive discussion that is now flooding the online community. Not a few believe that Jin has actually tried many times to signal to fans, but the signal is too subtle, too closed, or too controlled. Let us recall one of Jin's last appearances before the military hiatus. In a live session, he once said half-jokingly, "If I come back later and you haven't heard my new song, please ask the person in charge, yes." The fans were laughing.
But now?
That sentence sounds like a code. A vague hint of a larger conflict than we imagine. What does Jin mean by responsible person?
Who is he talking about?
HYB? Producer? Management team? Or is there another party even higher in the hierarchy of the Korean entertainment industry that is holding back its pace? The feeling that something went wrong grew stronger when several insider fandom accounts shared screenshots of HYB's internal promotional email that said, Solo Project J was not included in Q3, Q4 of this year's agenda. Does that J refer to Jin? Many suspect that yes, because he is the only one whose solo project has not been officially announced, while the other BTS members have already got their respective stages. In fact, rumors said that the album was scheduled to be released in the middle of the year, but the schedule was removed in an internal meeting for no reason. Why was the removal not explained to the public? Why are fans who have been waiting enthusiastically left hanging without explanation? In the world of K-pop, transparency is not an easy thing to come by. But when an artist as big as Jin, who has given more than 10 years of his life to the group, doesn't get the treatment he deserves for his hard work, the public deserves to ask. Some fans even dared to say, this is sabotage. It may sound excessive, but try to imagine. The album is ready. The music video is finished. Songs were recorded. Polished concept. Merchandise was discussed. But all of that now seems to disappear into a thick fog.
No teaser.
There's no countdown. There is no sign of life from this long-awaited project. Does HYB judge that the Jin project is not selling enough for their financial quarter? Or are they afraid that this album will show a side of Jin that has not been in line with the image they are building after internal controversies and rifts between divisions? Remember when Jin was the only member who dared to insinuate that the management's decision about promotion was too much for the other members. At that time, the army fully supported his courage. But now he's silent. And it is precisely that silence that invites more questions. Because when someone who normally talks suddenly chooses silence, silence can be louder than shouting. But on the other hand, the pressure on Jin was growing. ARMY is not just disappointed, they are worried. A well-known fan site even posted an emotional message reading, "Jin Hyung, if you're tired, just blink your eyes twice while live." We'll find out. This message went viral on various social platforms and was met with thousands of comments voicing the same concerns. "We don't care about the release date. We just want to know you're okay." Ironically, it is precisely because of such a huge sense of love from fans, worries turn into pressure. Some are angry, some are confused, some are desperate. All Faye.